Talks between U.S. President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky are focusing on a 20-point peace plan for Ukraine. Among other things, the plan provides for security guarantees similar to those in force in NATO. According to Russian agencies, Mirnograt and Hulaypole were to be captured by Russian troops. Kremlin media, citing the command headquarters, announced the success of the offensive in eastern Ukraine. Kiev does not confirm this information, emphasizing that the defense continues on all sections of the front. The fact is, however, that in both cities, the situation of the defenders has been dramatic for many weeks. A lack of ammunition, constant shelling, and pressure from the Russians. Despite this, no one here has any doubts about whether this defense makes sense. It is better to fight and be free than to live in captivity. In such circumstances, Ukrainians are once again looking to the United States today. It is there that Volodymyr Zelensky is meeting with Donald Trump. The Ukrainian president arrived in the United States last night. The future of Ukraine may depend on this visit. Optimism is very cautious. Ukrainians have experienced disappointment too many times in recent months. I don't think there will be a breakthrough because we've seen previous negotiations and agreements. And then a day or two ago, yesterday, there was another attack. I think Russia will drag this out as long as possible. I am convinced that nothing will change. It will be a long series of negotiations without results. Similar concerns can be heard today on the streets of Ukrainian cities. Most of the people we spoke to do not believe in a quick end to the war and strongly oppose any territorial concessions. I would like it to end, but that is what our side wants. We have no advantage in this situation. That is why I want everyone to be healthy, strong, and patient now. Especially since Russia shows no willingness to end the war, even for propaganda purposes. In fact, it proves its intentions every day. Yesterday's massive attack on Kiev was a brutal reminder to many of what is at stake in the diplomatic game.
This attack is, again, Russia's answer on our peace efforts, and it's really shows that Putin doesn't want peace, and we want peace, and he's the man of war, but he's afraid to speak about publicly, but we see the steps, and what we need to stop this war in any way, and we need two things, pressure on Russia and sufficient strong support for Ukraine.
Even before arriving in the United States, Volodymyr Zelensky held intensive consultations with Western allies. In Canada, he met with the Prime Minister and via video conference with European politicians, trying to work out a common position ahead of key talks in Florida.
Under President Zelensky's leadership, we have the conditions, the possibility of a just and lasting peace. But that requires a willing Russia. And the barbarism that we saw overnight, the attack on Kyiv, shows just how important it is that we stand with Ukraine during this difficult time.
The Americans make no secret of their determination to bring the talks to some kind of conclusion, even if it means difficult and controversial decisions, hence the sounding out of possible concessions on both sides of the conflict. The president of Ukraine himself emphasized that he is ready to compromise, but only if real and binding security guarantees are provided by the West. Vladimir Putin, on the other hand, announced that if Ukraine does not surrender the territories of Donbass and Luhansk, Russia will take them by force.
As French star Brigitte, well known to British fans.
Born on September 28, 1934, she showed acting talent from the very beginning. Bardot gained international fame, dancing barefoot to the mambo in the film And God Created Woman, her tousled hair and energy radiating a magnetism rarely seen before in mainstream cinema. At just 21 years old, she scandalized censors and fascinated audiences. After the success of And God Created Woman, Bardot remained a constant presence on cinema screens. She often appeared in several films a year. The early 1960s were a particularly intense period for her. Throughout her professional life, she gained many fans. She was an icon. I knew the Brigitte Bardot era. We appreciated her films. It was a shock to me when I found out she had died. A beauty, a sex symbol known all over the world. She was so beautiful. She was, well, beautiful until the end of her life. Her charm extended far beyond French cinema. During her career, Bardot was nominated for a BAFTA award and received the David Di Donatello Award for Best Foreign Actress for her role in the film The Truth. The former film star made no secret of the fact that she was not very interested in the present day. She was not impressed by contemporary cinema either. In 1973, she ended her film career, and from 1974 onwards, she devoted herself to the fight for animal rights. Brigitte Bardot received numerous awards, including from UNESCO and the animal rights organization PETA. In 1985, she was awarded the Legion of Honor, France's highest national decoration. The artist's death was announced by the foundation she founded. The actress is survived by her son. Bardot died at the age of 91. Her extraordinary life and career left an indelible mark on culture and art. History is not only a lesson from the past, but also a lesson for the future. Yesterday, during the anniversary celebrations of the Greater Poland Uprising, Polish President Karol Nawrocki spoke about Bolesław Chrobry, who accepted the crown as a symbol of the sovereignty and independence of the Polish state. The crown, which is a symbol of Poland's victory, but also a crown that says so much about our national community. A national community open to the West, but also a national community ready to defend the western border of Poland. Things that seem obvious, especially in view of the upcoming Migration Pact and the agreement between Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk and the German Chancellor, who is already transferring illegal migrants unwanted in Germany to Poland, behind the backs of the Polish people. This is a game with Poland's security. Let us remember that we are threatened not only by Russia, but also by ideas such as multiculturalism, which has led Europe to extreme danger. Despite this, the Prime Minister of the December 13th coalition, who clearly does not feel the need to protect the western borders, has spoken out. President Nawrocki has once again pointed to the West as the main threat to Poland. This is the essence of the dispute between the anti-European bloc, Nawrocki, Brown, Mensen, Law and Justice, and our coalition. A deadly serious dispute. A dispute about our values, security and sovereignty, East or West. But Donald Tusk probably quickly regretted his post when President Karol Nawrocki responded to it. Prime Minister, it's hard to believe that we graduated from the same department, history. Do you blame Bolesław Chrobry for fighting in the East and West, and the Greater Poland insurgents for fighting for Poland against Germany? Is that also the West? The essence of the dispute is rather that the Prime Minister is unable to listen with understanding, or is deliberately seeking conflict, because he cannot balance the budget, healthcare, etc. I already talked about the threat from the East when the Prime Minister was walking along the pier and hugging Russia, as it is. And I still say, but not in connection with the Greater Poland Uprising. That's not the point. We must learn from history. Let us remember that Poland was attacked during World War II, after the Ribbentrop-Molotov Pact, following the Soviet-German agreement. If today there are further threats to Poland coming from the West, such as saying that European law is more important than the Polish constitution, if it is said that the Migration Pact must be introduced against the will of the Polish people, if it is said that ETS2 is a necessity, then these are threats that will lower the quality of life and affect the security of our country. Donald Tusk and the entire December 13th coalition are trying to divert attention from the Migration Pact they agreed to. Hence, such dismissive comments as those made by Foreign Minister Radosław Sikorski. I would like to reassure the President that as long as Germany is in NATO and the EU, and is ruled by Christians or Social Democrats, there is no threat to our western border. A threat could only arise if Europhobic nationalists came to power across the Oder. If Sikorski, in his arrogance and conceit, cannot see what European bureaucrats, with the help of Tusk, have done with Germany, France, and the United Kingdom, which is no longer in the European Union, then he cannot see the powerful threat that is smoldering beyond our western border, and we will have to defend Poland against what will actually threaten us from the west. And the threat is very real. The inhabitants of Western Europe can no longer walk the streets of their cities in peace. Women are particularly vulnerable. Murders, rapes, assaults, and thefts have become commonplace in Spain, Germany, and France, everywhere where illegal migrants have been allowed in without control. 2 days ago, an illegal immigrant from Africa, specifically Mali, stabbed 3 women in the Paris subway. According to police information, it turned out that this illegal immigrant had been ordered to leave French territory. This shows how defenseless the state services are in the face of mass illegal immigration, and such cases occur almost daily in France. Now, with the help of Donald Tusk, Germany is trying to bring all these threats to Poland. The Migration Pact is one of the elements of the so-called leftist social engineering. It is an attempt to shift the problems of Western European countries, especially Germany, France, and the Benelux countries, which have been affected by all the negative effects of migration, mass migration, including illegal migration of culturally foreign people who do not integrate. That is why it is so important to defend against threats from the East, but also from the West.